I haven't been making videos lately. I haven't had time. Spend I work full time, and it takes me 2.5 hours to get to work, 2.5 hours get home. If I'm lucky, could be more time than that, bro. It's crazy. Been putting on weight, kind of depressed. It sucks. I'm drained whenever I'm home. I got 5 roommates. It's never quiet enough to make a fucking video around here. But here we are. Here we are. In spite of all of that, I had to make a video because on top of the regular depression, Nintendo had to go announce the Switch OLED, which didn't help. Didn't help at all. What's the, gosh dang it, bro? What is the point of this thing? Like a couple times in the past, I don't know if I've ever said it on a video, but I was like, the Switch is kind of like what the Vita was supposed to be. It's like a Vita 2.0, and now it's got an OLED screen. I'm like, the Switch is definitely a Vita 2.0. Like if Sony actually cared about the Vita, it could have been the first Switch, basically. Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. Nintendo doing Nintendo things. So for those of you that don't know, we got a new Switch model coming out October 8th, which is just like literally a week after my birthday. That's actually pretty cool. Um, and as much as I dislike it, I will be scooping one up because give me a moment. Oh, gosh, my Switch is in my backpack here. Hold on. Because as much as I don't like it, this is a day one Switch. It's I don't know if you can really see the curvature on it, but it's got a little bit of curvature from heating. The heat kind of broke off this portion of it. Like this day one Switch is kind of old and busted. I was going to have to get a new Switch anyways, so I'll be getting the OLED one, and I will be hacking modding this one. Not to play Switch games. I'll just be playing all my Switch games on the new Switch, and yeah, it's no point in hacking this one to play Switch games. And I'll just transfer the SD card over. So I'm not gonna pull it out, but it is a 1 terabyte. Bro, I put so much money into Switch, to Nintendo in general. Um, I don't know. It's easy to say it's disappointing because it is, but I'm not sure what else like we were really to be expecting. Uh, I've made several videos when the rumor mills were churning, and again, these rumor mills for the Switch Pro have been churning before the Switch even came out in what was it, March of 2017. There was already rumors of a Switch Pro before the Switch even launched, and it was just a wish list. It was all too good to be true. And every video I made on Switch rumors, I was like, remember guys, this is Nintendo. You can't expect much from them. And here we are. Now that we've seen the Switch Pro, uh, yeah, it's really not much. Bigger screen, nicer screen. From what I understand, it's still the same internals. We get 64 gigabytes of memory instead of 32, which is really not much in the grand scheme of things, especially when you got people like me out here getting the 1 terabyte micro SD cards. But for some people, it'll make a difference. I guess for those of you that um, do like free to play games on your Switch, or there are some download only games that have no physical copies. Thinking like your, I think Cuphead doesn't have a physical copy. I don't think maybe Okami has one now, but I think when it first came out, there's still a lot of games that are digital only on the Switch. So uh, it's nice. I mean, I guess it's an upgrade. At the very least, I can say it's an upgrade. I mean, going from 32 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes of storage, it's not really much of an upgrade, but it's something. It's one of the only like things that are improved on this thing. So bigger screen, got the more memory, and I think the last like update in the Switch itself, in this new OLED Switch, is the kickstand. The kickstand we don't have. It's not a little rinky dink I can't can't even get this out right now. Not a little rinky-dink kickstand like this. No, the flap is like the entire switch, and they said it was adjustable. So I'm guessing it means it doesn't have just this one setting like this right here. It'll have at least two. Knowing Nintendo, it's probably only two. Hoping for like 3 or 4 different adjustable settings for it at least. But I mean, even then, like really, like that's it. That's all that's changed. And then the other thing is the new dock for this Switch has an Ethernet port, but it came at the expense of a USB port. I don't know why you couldn't just have the Ethernet port in addition to the 3 USB ports that were there. People are sad. They're like, oh no, I can't have all my USB stuff connected now. Which I get. 3 wasn't really much to work with in the beginning, but let's be real here. If you were like at home playing your Switch online, like one of those USB ports was your Ethernet adapter anyways. And even then, you can get USB hubs, attach it if you really need the extra USBs, which, I don't know. I don't know, man. As you can tell, I'm pretty lifeless, pretty drained, very unenthusiastic. Again, very low effort because I just don't really have time for these videos. Like I really want to make these videos, man. I want to go back to making the news, throw up the green screen, dress fancy, do some more new stuff, and I especially wanted to do it for E3, but man, work has been kicking my ass. It's not okay. But yeah, I don't know. There's my thoughts. Like, of course, just like everything else with Nintendo, uh, I want those rumors to be true because the rumors are always too good to be true. They're always up and out there and so far beyond. But deep down in my heart of hearts, I know how Nintendo rolls. I know how they operate. And I knew it wasn't going to be that crazy. I was like, maybe we can get 1 or 2 of these things and it'll be good. And we literally got one of those things, which was the OLED screen. And I'm like, okay, this sounds about right. But this is only the second Switch revision, so I will expect more in the future. Honestly, when it comes to handhelds, Nintendo definitely does several iterations. I don't have too many of them on me right now. I have my new 3DS XL back there. You can't really see it, but I do have a Game Boy Micro sitting on the shelf too. And there's always, I think Nintendo always does at least 2 revisions. Let's see, there was Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket. For Game Boy Advance, there was the original Game Boy Advance, there was the SP, there was a Micro. And then for the DS, there was the original DS, DS Lite, DSi, DSi XL. And then 3DS, there's the original 3DS, 3DS XL. New 3DS XL, and 2DS. I might be forgetting a few, but you see my point. When it comes to handhelds, there's 2 revisions. Oh crap! That means the OLED's the second revision. But it's also one of their best-selling systems, so I would definitely expect another revision for sure, for sure. Switch, I think last time I looked, and it was like a month or 2 ago, had sold like 83, 84 million. Yeah, yeah, they're going to keep that train going. They're going to milk this thing for all it's worth. They've already been milking it. Um, they've gotten pretty complacent, if I'm being honest. This model, the OLED model itself, shows how complacent they've been, how complacent they are currently. The fact that there's this new model, the OLED Switch, and it's more or less just a better screen. Really, the bump to 64 gigabytes, I mean, that's not really a big deal. A better kickstand, that's like nothing for them. Just like putting an Ethernet port in the dock is nothing for them. Like, it's really just the screen. It's crazy. Some people were saying, like, there's a lot of people online saying they wish they could just buy the dock by itself because it has the Ethernet port built in. But I'm not sure if that'll work. From what I could see from the screenshots, since it's a bigger screen, it would. I'm assuming it's a bigger Switch. Honestly, I do realize like the bezels here are kind of like pretty damn big, but I still think that this new OLED Switch is a different size, a bigger Switch than this current model. So I don't know if you'd want to buy the dock by itself. I don't think it'd work. Uh, is there anything else I can talk about? The Y Joy-Cons, they look kind of slick. Uh, Plain Jane as hell, but look kind of slick. I'd still get the red and blue ones anyways. Whatever. TLDR, too long, didn't watch or whatever. It's disappointing, but it's also like kind of what I expected. Um, I don't like it. I really don't. But I'll still end up buying it because, like I pointed out, my Switch is all day one old and busted and curved from the heat and missing this portion of the Switch because it just got. How does that happen? Like it heats and then it cools down and then it like starts cracking and then yeah, that broke. And yeah, I was gonna have to get a new one anyways. And man, I should have been upgraded for about like a year now, like at least. And then I was like, I kept saying, nah, I'm gonna wait for that Switch Pro. I'm gonna wait for that Switch Pro. Well, here it is, the Switch Pro. And I'm a man of my word. Put my money where my mouth is and buy this thing. Man, it sucks being a Nintendo fan.